Number five, top five, addressing the defensive line. We re-signed Obata, adding Fowler, Armstrong from Dallas, and Farrell from the 49ers. Guys, this is the number five thing that I got. And I think this is sufficient. I think this was a big move that we've done, especially us dropping Chase Young and Montez Sweat last year, trading them off. But guys, we needed to do something significant to the defensive line, and honestly, this isn't significant, but it's sufficient. It is something that, and especially with the draft coming up, these aren't necessarily starters. Farrell and uh, Fowler aren't necessarily starters, guys.
Right.
Honestly, and if you really think about it, these guys are way better than our backups from last year. Like we didn't have to get another Two Hill or
Right.
saying Smith,
Williams.
James
Yeah.
Smith.
Yes, yeah, James Smith, yeah.
Have to re-up with these guys. Like to me, like this is good right here because we still have the draft and we still picked up that extra third. We picked up that third from the Howell trade. So guys, tell me what you, like Will, tell me what you think about this. Like to me, this is a good core for the defensive line. And this is significant because it trickles down to the cornerbacks, it trickles down to the linebackers, it trickles down to the safeties. Like this is good right here.
I love these moves. I really liked Dorrance Armstrong and glad we brought him. He knows Dan Quinn's defense. He was a guy who was able to get 8 sacks when only playing 40% of the game. So I think that's pretty significant that now he's going to get a little bit more playing time. I like Dante Fowler in the fact that his role is to be a situational pass rusher, and he got recruited and coached by Dan Quinn at the University of Florida. Played with him in Atlanta, went with him with Dallas, came to Washington. Like this guy knows to follow his coach because his coach puts him in good situations. I think that's pretty significant as well. And I mean, Cleveland Farrell, I knew he was going to be a bust. I've watched him enough on Saturdays down here in South Carolina to see that this guy was not worth the number 4 overall pick that he was. But he's also a different player. He's not a 10-digit sack player. He's a set the edge. And so as a rotational piece, sure, fine. Daryl Tapp knows who he was. He coached him last year. If he feels like he's an upgrade, I'm good with it. So I really did like these. And I feel like we've got players who can produce. And now, especially with that, we've got a few more draft picks than we did going into this morning. We have some flexibility in the draft to get another defensive end, to get another pass rusher, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the second round now. Maybe we can be flexible. Maybe we go after him in the third round. Or it doesn't have to be that, okay, we got a quarterback, we got a left tackle, now we need to go get the defensive end, like we've all been mocking to ourselves, going through here. So that's what I think is exciting about these guys. And if they want to take a flyer on a little bit of a project, a raw player that's got talent, they could do it because it's not we need you to start day one. It can be we can groom you into our defense for next year. So I think this is all good.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Sean, tell me what you think, brother.
No, yeah. I mean, I think Will hit it on the head. I think at the very least we know that these guys are great depth players, and like you said, they're far better than what we have. So then now when we go into the draft. Now, like Will said, we don't have to make this the focus. Now we can go in here and kind of have the luxury of saying, okay, let's scout, let's look at this, let's doesn't have to be this has to be the guy. Like we can rotate. And the other great thing about this is if you ever look at those great defenses, yes, they have those marquee starters, but they also have that great second team that comes in and is able to give those guys a breather. You know what I mean? On those long drives. So now you guys, and they're still producing. You talk about Dorrance Armstrong and some of these guys and how little they might have played, but the production that they were able to get. Now that they have more opportunity, now that's going to create more of them, being able to be on the field and be explosive and get these opportunities to dominate. And I'm excited for it. Long story short, there's 2 guys that all years I've been with you guys, I've talked about all off season. I've always wanted to get them on a flyer in free agency. It's Bobby Wagner, not Mike Wagner, Bobby Wagner. And the other one was Dante Fowler Jr. Every single year, I'm always like, yo, this guy's cheap. Let's get him. He's available, whatever, what have you. And like Will said, he does travel with Quinn. So I love that we're going to get this guy now. And, hey, see what these guys can do. I think this is just an advantageous position for all of these guys that we got right now, because I think they're all hungry and they're all going to fit somehow in this. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all said it spot on. I mean, all three of y'all said it definitely spot on. I think out of all the guys that we did get on the D line, Armstrong will probably be the main one to probably start. But they seem like all depth players to come off. Rotation players definitely. But out of all these guys, it makes me wonder: are we going to run a 4-3? Are we going to run a 3-4? Because Armstrong is a 4-3 type guy. Farrell, is that his name? Farrell, I can't think of the name. Farrell, he's a 4-3 type guy too. Fowler is a 3-4 guy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it just makes me wonder: are we gonna, are they gonna play a whole lot of times back and forth, rotating each other? And are we gonna go to a 4-3? Are we gonna switch back to a 3-4, 4-3, 4-4? Maybe what is it? A 5-2?
Or 5-3, shoot.
Or 5. I mean, anything. Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely, I'm definitely excited, man. And like you said, Ab, they were definitely better than what we had here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely excited. And I think we will be getting some in the draft. Especially like Will said, we got some more draft picks because, Sean, the reason why. But yeah, I mean, definitely, man. I'm definitely excited for this D line, and I think we're going to blitz a lot more this year. I really do believe that. I think we're going to blitz a lot more. I think we need to get after the quarterback. So,
and I hope they move them around more. What do we
Right.
always think about Dan Quinn and what he did for Michael Parsons? Let's move these guys to different spots and have them rushing from all over the place. Like, come on, man. I think,
and going back to what you said, Sean, I think Dan Quinn is like that. I mean, that's what he did in Dallas. He moved guys around. And to be honest with you, Dan Quinn is coming, man. Like Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, these guys are not playing. Like I think Dan Quinn, this is his second chance, and he don't want to mess this up. You know what I mean? Because he had Atlanta, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? And this is his time. It's like, man, they're making moves. Adam Peters is smart. He's like the brains, and Quinn is just like, you know what? I'm gonna get this team the way I want it, and I'm not gonna fail in Atlanta. And I think he's gonna show something in that Dallas game. Like I really think, you know how Dallas ran it up on us. I think Quinn ain't gonna let off the gas. Like if we're hot and we look really good when we come to play Dallas, man, that's gonna be a statement game. Absolutely.
Let's go.
So, to me, and guys, we also can't forget that we still have the two defensive ends that we got last year. Was it Andre Carter and
KJ Henry?
KJ Henry.
Yeah.
So, guys, so we still have that, and KJ Henry, like even though he was robbed of one of his sacks last year, like. He had a little bit of promise on him, so I was very impressed with that. Just so you guys know, and for the draft, so with the updated draft picks, that's what I was looking at before. We don't have a 4th or a 6th rounder anymore with the Sam Howell trade. So that was with that update. So that. I don't know. I may see a problem with that, but in the first 100 picks, we have 6 picks, guys.
Yes, sir.
6 picks. Yeah. So that's significant.